This session is designed to talk about and share ideas on how you can use Realityworks experiential learning tools to teach career skills that can be used in a child care pathway program of study. We've got lots of fun things to share with you today. So here's just a brief overview of what we're going to discuss in the next 25 minutes or so. We'll talk a little bit about Realityworks in case you're not familiar with us. We will talk about the need for good resources for child care career skills and pathway programs. We'll talk more specifically about the RealCare program and parts and pieces of that. Then we'll go into some activities that you can use to incorporate soft skills as well as hard skills into your programs. And then we'll end up with some additional resources that you could take a look at. So with that, we'll get started. Realityworks has been around about 25 years. We began with the RealCare Baby Infant Simulator, but since that time, we have grown into many different areas that you see on the screen in front of you. But all of our products are developed with hands-on learning in mind, whether it be RealCare Baby, welding, ag, or even health science. We want to help teachers create those lasting educational and experiential learning opportunities. So now we'll just dive in a little bit talking about the need for really good resources. The Education and Training Career Cluster has 3 pathways, and early childhood and child care occupations fall squarely into one of these, teaching training. Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics projects most job openings in the Education and Training Cluster are going to be occupations assigned to that teaching and training pathway. Now, this is great news for your child care pathway programs of study. Furthermore, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of child care workers is projected to grow 7% through the year 2026. And that's about as fast as the average for all occupations. Job opportunities for child care workers are expected to be favorable. Now, child care occupations also fall within the Human Services Career Cluster. The Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that the human services sector will have faster than average expansion by 10%, adding about 257,000 jobs through the year of 2024. Now, much of the content you cover in your FACS courses fall within human services careers. So it's not difficult to make the case for the need to teach transferable career skills within the early childhood development and services pathway. Now, we know that transferable hard skills need to be taught. Many of us have heard about the skills gap in the US. Now, very simply, the skills gap is the difference between the skills needed for a job versus those skills possessed by the prospective worker. Today's cutting-edge, rigorous, and relevant career and technical education programs, including FACS, prepare youth and adults for a wide range of high-wage, high-skill, and high-demand careers. CT programs across the country are working to help solve the skills gap in manufacturing, healthcare, and other areas of need. But did you know that there is also a soft skills gap? Well, according to a poll by CNBC, 44% of employers chose the lack of soft skills as the biggest gap in the US workforce. Now, this is even greater than the technical skills gap we hear so much about. So we've dug into the research and came up upon study after study that shows the importance of soft skills. A few that stood out to us are, in 2013, a study by Millennial Branding showed 61% of managers and 65% of Gen Y believe soft skills are the most important ones you can have in the workplace. And then in 2014, CNBC revealed that 44% of employers chose soft skills as the biggest gap in the US workforce. And then more recently, research conducted by Harvard University, the Carnegie Foundation, and Stanford Research Center concluded that 85% of job success comes from having well-developed soft and people skills, and only 15% of job success coming from those technical skills and hard skills that we focus on and hear so very much about. So why did we share the occupational outlook for careers in human services and education and training career clusters? How come we've also focused on the need for soft skills? Well, we shared the information because we have many resources and instructional aids that can help teach career skills in these areas. What I would like to discuss with you today is the complete RealCare program and how these cool tools can help you work within your program to create a comprehensive experiential learning program, and how to help your students become college and career ready, specifically for childcare careers. So each RealCare product comes with a comprehensive curriculum. And the curriculum includes lessons on a wide variety of topics, along with things like PowerPoints and activities to support those lessons. Much of the content can be used to teach job-related skills or very important background knowledge that can be used in these related careers. So for instance, we have a pregnancy simulator called the Pregnancy Profile, and the curriculum teaches the stages of monthly fetal development. Now, this background knowledge would be required for careers in obstetrics and other healthcare occupations. The drug-affected baby we have provides information about interventions that drug-affected children need to cope with their surroundings. This information would be useful as for teachers or even child care providers working with these children. The fetal alcohol syndrome baby lesson provides information on the physical signs and symptoms of FAS so that teachers can provide differentiated instruction. Daycare providers can work effectively with FAS children, or even healthcare workers could recognize this and provide appropriate care and follow-up. The Shaken Baby will teach coping strategies for soothing a crying infant that can be used in a child care occupational setting. Now we have a wearable geriatric simulation suit that allows users to experience a wide variety of age-related physical challenges. Anyone dealing with older geriatric patients or even parents could find that kind of information very, very useful. Now we also have something called the Infant Health and Safety Pack. And things addressed in this include common infant and toddler safety issues and procedures, emergency response procedures, proper infant choking procedures, and of course, proper infant CPR procedures. All of these resources and all of this information would be imperative for anyone in an infant-related childcare career path to have these type of skills. Now, our newest resource called the Child Care Center Design Kit is a hands-on kit that teaches your students how to design infant, toddler, and preschool environments for optimal learning and engagement. So these are skills your students can use immediately on the job someday. Now, basic infant care is one of the 4 curricula that baby customers will have access to. Now, we are highlighting this basic infant care curricula because the focus is all about teaching basic infant caregiving skills for working with infants on the job. This curriculum is especially beneficial to CTE programs with a certification in early childhood education. Whether your program will lead to an industry-recognized childcare certification like the CDA, Child Development Associate, or if you are teaching parenting skills, basic infant care uses the RealCare Baby Simulator in the lessons to provide hands-on practice, learning infant care skills such as soothing a crying baby, holding, feeding, bathing, diapering, and even a whole lot more. Childcare professionals working with infants need to know these important health and safety information also, such as infant CPR, which is included. There are dozens of safety lessons in the curriculum. So the RealCare Infant Simulator is used in many of these lessons to learn these infants' care skills as well as the safety skills. And of course, it will always culminate with a participant taking baby home for independent practice as a caregiver of an infant for an extended period of time. Now, I have a few best practices for integrating career development and exploration into your program as well. One thing we've heard from many people is that journaling is a great way to help your students reflect on the simulation experience. Now, we have seen teachers request video journaling, and you will see a lot of those on YouTube. Now, we know that writing is an important skill for many jobs. It's also a part of effective communication, written communication, which is a key soft skill that employers are looking for. You could weave different work-related scenarios into the journaling or writing exercises. One lesson from Basic Infant Care presents a variety of caregiver scenarios for your students to consider. Now, you could extend that lesson by having students put their answer in writing as to how they would handle one of the child care scenarios provided, and they talk about how they would do it differently or more effectively. Now, another great way to integrate some career exploration is to bring in guest speakers from the community in a variety of related careers. Law enforcement can talk to topics like shaken baby abuse and the legal consequences of mishandling a child. Nurses or any healthcare provider that work with infants can speak about what it's like to work with infants in a healthcare setting. Social workers work with infants in foster care or even with at-risk or young teen parents. Now, a child care facility director could give a lot of information about a typical day in the life of an infant caregiver or a provider in a center. So developing a self-assessment on a specific skill area can also be a great way to get your students to identify their strengths to build on, and also opportunities to strengthen other skills that aren't as strong. Weaving a few activities into your lessons that focus on soft skills is a great way to help your students learn and apply the soft skills they'll be using on the job. So here are a few ideas that you could use to do this. First of all, sometimes a bad example is an even better teacher than a good one. So you could share the 20 soft skills chart with your class that you see here. Divide your class into small groups and then have each group choose one or more of the soft skills in the infographic. Give them about 15 or 20 minutes to talk and think about their assigned skills. They can look up the word in the dictionary or online, talk about personal experiences, and then once they feel they have a very clear understanding of what the skill is in a group, then have them come up with a good way to explain it to the classmates, as well as 2 ways to model the skill. Once the wrong way and once the right way. So some of the skills they'll be practicing in this exercise would be creativity, communication, and critical thinking. Now, the time management challenge is fun. We all have days when our list of tasks is huge and the amount of time we have to complete them just isn't there. When time is tight and your agenda is packed, you've got to prioritize tasks and work efficiently. So this activity will give your students the opportunity to practice just that by presenting them with a long list of tasks to complete in a limited time frame. So you'd make a list of tasks on chart paper, and you would assign a point value to each one. For example, they could be just generic things like doing 25 jumping jacks or getting every person in class to sign a paper or things of that nature. You need to make enough lists, a list of enough tasks that would take more than 10 minutes. Then you would divide your students into groups of 5 or 6 and give them 10 minutes to collect as many points as they can by deciding which tasks to perform. A debriefing session is essential with this game. Guide your students to think about how they made decisions, which group dynamics came into play, and how they determined the value of each task. Now, you could also turn the task list into something that directly ties to FACT's course content, maybe even a culinary area, such as so many points to stir something, to cut something, to eat something, wash a dish, set a table, etc. So some of the skills they'll be practicing here are negotiation, critical thinking, communication, and of course, time management. Now, if you have an active FCCLA chapter, you could also use preparation for those FCCLA STAR events to practice those soft skills. Now, here are 2 STAR events in particular to look closer at that I found. First, there's one called interpersonal communication. And this is where an individual, or it is also a team event, that recognizes participants who use family and consumer sciences or related occupations and skills that apply communication techniques to develop a project designed to strengthen communication in a chosen category. And these could be community, employment, relationships, family, peer groups, or school groups. Another one that stood out to me was one called job interview. This is an individual event, and it recognizes participants who use family and consumer sciences or related occupational skills to develop a portfolio. You'd participate in an interview, and you communicate a personal understanding of job requirements. So students must prepare a portfolio, including a job application here. They express their communication skills and job knowledge through an interview. Now, here are a few newer products to teach childcare career skills that you might not be aware of. First, the Child Care Center Design Kit is a hands-on design experience for your students tasked with designing 3 different rooms in a child care center. Students learn best practices for laying out the space in an infant room, a toddler room, and a preschool room for optimal learning and student interaction. Now, the kit includes curriculum written by experienced FACTS instructors with a strong childcare program background. The kit includes scaled tiles that represent those furniture pieces found in childcare centers. And then students design their space on a dry erase board, designing the layout of that ideal childcare space for each group. The kit includes enough pieces for 5 small groups or 5 individuals to work with the kit simultaneously. Now, the kit also provides dry erase markers and microfiber cloths so students can draw those additional room details such as learning centers and so forth. So this is a brand new one, getting a lot of good feedback, very, very fun hands-on kit. Now, here are some of the components of the kit and the curriculum topics. We have found teachers are very, very excited to get this into the hands of their students. It is yet another cool tool to provide the hands-on learning of skills they will actually use on the job. The twin pregnancy model set includes life-size models that provide detailed representations of twin pregnancy in monozygotic and dizygotic twin pregnancies, also preterm premature rupture of membranes and types of placentation. Much of our other fetal development and birth model sets like this give students a window into the womb of twin pregnancy. This type of information could be or would be appropriate foundational knowledge for anyone going into careers related to pregnancy and childbirth. So as a FACS teacher, you could also find this a helpful resource for human growth and development. We have 6 new pathway specific scenario card decks. Each card deck includes 19 cards, 1 for each soft skill taught in our employability skills program. Now, the subject matter experts wrote the realistic scenarios focusing on each soft skill. Each of the cards helps develop soft skills within specific occupational areas through small group discussions, as a large group icebreaker, or as an individual challenge. Again, there are 19 cards in the Child Care Career Scenarios deck, and these are available in single packs or in class packs of 10. So again, a great way to provide that interaction with students. The Infant Skin Condition Kit is a one-of-a-kind skin condition training tool that includes 8 realistic models of common infant skin conditions. The models can be adhered to mannequin skin and feature detailed tissue that can be examined. For instance, it includes things like chickenpox, diaper rash, cradle cap, eczema, contact dermatitis, baby acne, hives, and roseola. And it's available in light and medium skin tones. So this could be used on RealCare Baby for an in-class demonstration of skin conditions. So if you have an older model baby that maybe you're currently not using, maybe it's sitting in a closet, you could turn it into your skin condition baby model. What a great way to repurpose existing resources. Now, this is not intended to be put on RealCare Baby and sent off-site for those simulation experiences, just for an in-class demonstration. So as child care professionals, it would be very helpful to be able to identify these common conditions so that you could communicate to the parents. You also receive information on how to prevent and care for an infant with these conditions. Now, here are a few additional resources that we'd like to point out. First of all, we have some webinars. We have webinars that are designed around products, program best practices, tips and trips. So monthly, we've got free ones that you can go ahead and sign up for. And we record everything, and they are archived in our product support area of our website, and you can watch them on demand at any time. So that's something much like today, we are recording today's webinar. It also will be archived. So you can find all sorts of different topics on our product support website if you look on the webinars tab. If you're looking for some lessons on career exploration to augment your employability skills program, here are several we make available at the link shown here. So you get I believe it's not 4 to 5, I believe it's 2 to 3. No, it is 4 to 5, sorry. So go to the link and check it out. Now, we highly encourage discussion in your classes about how to incorporate the use of social media for finding a job. A majority of jobs are not advertised, so how are people finding out about jobs? Well, networking is key. So one statistic to share with your students is that 41% of people have landed a job through social networking. Now, some statistics that we see are even significantly higher than that at 80%. So whatever the percentage, we know that many, many people are using social media as a means of networking. So another free resource available to you is a free 5-lesson unit on integrating social media into your FACS program. There are many ways to engage your students in a wide variety of social media sites. So the lessons are 1, integrating Facebook into your FACS program, 2, power up your FACS lessons with Pinterest, 3, taming the tweet, using Twitter to engage your FACS students, 4, using Instagram to boost your FACS students' creativity, and 5, using YouTube to create multimedia FACS lessons. Now, Realityworks also wants to connect with you through social media. So you can do things like visiting our blog. We also are very active on Facebook. You can also see us on Twitter. And then, of course, you're always welcome to reach out to our product support part of our website, because there are just a ton of information and resources there available to you. So at this time, we would love to open it up for any questions that you would have regarding today's content. And Katie, I'm going to Have you checked to see if you see any questions out there from our participants today?
And it's not looking like we have any today, Denise.
Okay. Well, if you think of any after the fact, you can always reach out to us at our 800 number or our email that you'll find on our website. But we really appreciate your participation in today's webinar. And we really hope that you will be able to use some of the best practices and perhaps also some of the cool new tools that we shared with you today during the webinar. Thank you very much.